Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you very much for your time. I very appreciate you for the time you take to be with us again on this beautiful day. I have a documentary that I want you to watch. I made a beautiful documentary for you guys, and it's so amazing. But before I will let you watch it, I have a few words to say about Islam taking over the world. In 2050, Islam is going to be the number one religion. They will take over the world in every aspect. So it's so amazing to watch, and you kind of trigger some potential that's in yourself. Uh, then to look at how you do your stuff, what's your community, what you do with your community, and what you are as whatever you are. If you are a Muslim, you are a Christian, you are a Hindu, whatever you are Jewish, whatever you are, this it is so amazing to watch. Look, now Christian are like the number one. Islam becomes second. But things change. We're going to see Islam taking over the world from US, Canada, Europe, Australia, Norway, everywhere, starting in this very, very big country. It's happening and you will watch it. Some friends of mine already told me that. I have a few friends from Algeria and some other part of the world in Islam nations. They tell you that they will take over the world by numbers, by numbers. So it's happening. You will be able to see how they do it, and how they are really committed to do it. A Christian, we don't care. We don't work together. We don't support each other. We fight. We hate. We don't care. Islam, they work together. When it comes to projects, they work together. Look, Qatar donate from 2021 to 2001 to 2012, they donate 4 billion in US universities with the goal of promoting education and science. So they have some sciences they want these big, big universities to teach students. That's how they take over. They donate these big amounts to France, UK, Canada, Norway, everywhere. And they go with the plan of the program, the sciences they want these schools to teach. That's how they take over the world. Christian, they don't. If you go back in history, I think Christianity also did it. They built a lot of schools, a lot of hospitals in Africa and all over the world, and they stopped. Now it's a time for Islam. It's a time for Islam that are doing the same. They donate this big money to these countries, and then they will have the requests, and these countries they have to do it. So it's happening. But that's not my problem. My problem is this: why, as a Christian, we don't work together? Why our community are suffering? Why we are so poor? Why we hate each other? Why we don't work together? When I look at the Jewish community, I think of my community as a Christian. When I look Muslims community, I look at uh, my community as a Christian. When I look how they do business, how they support each other, I think of my community. We are so poor in mind. We are so poor. We are so weak, and we don't know what we're doing. But it's not our fault. It's not our fault. I guess no one has shown us how to do it from our governments, from our priests, our pastors, our leaders, our community leaders. No one is showing us how to do it. Instead, they fighting. They hate each other. They fight each other. If you start a business, nobody's going to follow you. Nobody's going to support you. They're going to try to destroy you. That's our Christianity. But I guess it's not what Jesus was talking about. This is not from Jesus. This is from somebody else, some people who work to build their business. So, what can we learn from these other communities? There's a lot of we can learn from Jewish community, Hinduism community. Go to Nepal, for example. Go to watch the people of Bhutan how they work. They work together. They live together. They support each other. They live in the same cities, so they can support each other. At the workplace, they stick together. They eat together. They share everything they have. Not because they are all brothers and cousins, but because they share the culture, the tradition, a country, names, the last names. As Christian, we don't do it. I don't know where that came from, but it doesn't look good. So I will let you enjoy the documentary. You will see how much where we are and where we'll be in the future. But I want you to listen with one goal. What should you do for your community to support your community? That's the lesson I've got from this documentary, and I want you also to get yours. Enjoy it, and I will see you next time.
The growth of Islam. Looking at the future of Islam. The world of religion is always changing. New religions emerge, others grow stronger. One of the most noticeable things in recent years is the growth of Islam. This has led some to ask, will Islam rule the world? It's a serious question, but it requires a research-based answer. To understand the future of Islam, we must examine population numbers, look at cultures, and even changes in religions. This research will look at whether Islam is on its way to becoming the world's dominant religion. We'll look at population figures, things like birth rates and migration, and compare them to those of Christians. We'll also look at what Baba Vanga, a Bulgarian mystic who made surprising predictions about the growth of Islam in Europe, said. Ultimately, we will see that while Islam will have many followers, the idea of religious dominance is much more complicated than just numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. This is how Islam is projected to grow. To understand the future of any religion, we must first look at the numbers. According to the Pew Research Center, a leading authority on global religion, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. This growth is fueled by several factors including high birth rates and a large youth population. Current projections indicate that by 2050, the number of Muslims globally will nearly equal the number of Christians. This trend continues into the 21st century. By 2070, Muslims and Christians will be roughly equal globally, each group comprising about 32% of the world's population. Further out, in 2100, Pew projects that Muslims will slightly outnumber Christians, making up 35% of the global population compared to 34% for Christians. The power of youth, fertility rates, and a young population. Why is Islam growing so rapidly? One of the main reasons is the high fertility rate in Muslim families. On average, Muslim women globally have about 3.1 children, which is significantly higher than the global average of 2.5 children per woman. This difference in fertility rates has a major impact on global population growth. Additionally, Muslims have a young median age of 24, compared to 31 for the global population. This means a larger portion of Muslims are in their childbearing years, further contributing to population growth. This high fertility rate combined with a young population are powerful drivers of population increase. Besides birth rates, the impact of migration on the religious landscape. While birth rates play a big role in population growth, migration is a very important factor that affects the religious landscape, especially in places like Europe and North America. International migration is a complex issue and is driven by various factors, such as economic opportunities, political unrest, and climate change. When people move from one country to another, they bring their beliefs and religious traditions with them. This means that migrants can cause changes in the religious makeup of different areas. For example, in Europe, Muslim immigrants have contributed to the growth of Islam in countries that were traditionally Christian. Understanding how people move is very important for understanding how the global religious landscape is changing. Part 5. The Future of Christianity, a tale of two trends. While Islam continues to grow rapidly, Christianity is changing in complex and difficult-to-explain ways. Globally, Christianity is expected to continue growing in the coming years, although not at the same rate as Islam. However, this growth is not uniform everywhere. In some regions, like sub-Saharan Africa, Christianity is thriving, while in others, like Europe and North America, it's declining. This decline of Christianity in the West is due to various factors, including the rise of atheism, declining birth rates, and people switching religions. Many people are now identifying as atheists or non-religious. At the same time, Christians are having fewer children, which means fewer children are growing up in the Christian faith. This represents a significant shift in the religious landscape of the West. Section 6. The Prophecies of Baba Vanga. Prophecy or speculation. The idea of Islam becoming the world's dominant religion has sparked a lot of discussion, and even fear. Some point to the prophecies of Baba Vanga, a Bulgarian mystic who predicted major events, as a sign of Islam's future dominance. Baba Vanga, who died in 1996, predicted events like Chernobyl and the September 11th attacks. One of her most alarming prophecies is that Europe will be ruled by Islam by 2043. This prophecy has been interpreted by some as a sign that Muslims will take over Europe. However, it's important to take this prophecy with a grain of salt. Baba Vanga's prophecies were often vague and open to interpretation. Understanding them requires careful and nuanced analysis. Section 7. Power beyond population. Influence is more than numbers. Even if Islam becomes the religion with the most followers in the world, it's important to remember that having lots of followers doesn't automatically give a group political or cultural power. The connection between belonging to a certain religion and that religion's impact on society is a complicated and multifaceted thing. Throughout history, there have been times when small religious groups have had a big impact on society, even though they weren't very large in number. Cultural development is often driven by a variety of factors, including economics, politics, and social well-being. While religious beliefs can play a role in these things, they are not the only deciding factors. To assume that a large Muslim population will automatically lead to the world being governed by Islamic principles is an oversimplification of the complex factors that shape governance. Section 8. The Religious Landscape. Looking at the future of religion. Predicting the future is not easy. While population numbers offer important clues, they don't tell the whole story. The religious landscape of the 21st century will likely be shaped by a variety of factors, including population growth, cultural shifts, and unexpected global events. It's likely that Islam will continue to grow in the coming years, and may even become the largest religion in the world. However, this growth doesn't mean it will rule the world. Instead, we can anticipate a future where different religions coexist peacefully, interacting in diverse and positive ways. Section 9. Conclusion, Change, a Complex Journey and Coexistence. Wondering if Islam will become the world's largest religion isn't the most important question. That oversimplifies a complex and multifaceted issue. The future of religion isn't about one dominant faith, but rather how different faiths will coexist in an increasingly diverse and interconnected world. Instead of focusing on predictions of which religion will be biggest, we should prioritize fostering understanding and respect between different religions. The future won't be built by those who try to force their beliefs on others, but by those who believe in dialogue, tolerance, and our shared humanity. In a world facing so many challenges, building bridges of understanding between faiths isn't just a good thing to do. It's necessary for peace and progress in the years to come.